Open here. Alright guys, I am Causey in the Country. You probably have seen some of our videos before from a lot of different things that we've done. So one of our partners sent us this. I'm really excited about it. It's a 3-wheel bike. So we're going to open it up and show you guys all the pieces, the parts, and all that good stuff, and then we're going to show you guys how to put it together. But super excited about this because if you are, kind of like me, you're in the country, you want to live off grid or whatever. I mean, this would be a great thing to actually have. Doesn't require gas, doesn't require batteries, anything like that. It makes it a little bit easier to use. I can't say you can go traipsing through the woods on it, but you could probably ride it through a field. We'll go through all the details of that once we get it put together and kind of ride it around. It's just like a normal bicycle, but it's going to have the 2 wheels in the back and the wheel in the front. I think it comes with a basket, but we're going to go ahead and open it up here and see what all's inside, and then we'll get together and kind of show you guys how to put it together. But yeah, I'm excited. Not 100% sure what color it is. My wife probably knows that. But we're going to open it up and kind of see what we got. And it has a part on the box here that says open here, and then it has an arrow where we're just leaving it standing up. So we're just going to pull all the parts out like this. Looks like it comes packaged pretty nice so far. Ooh, I love the color. Looks like the color is going to be blue. So you got your foam pad here. We're going to pull these foam pads out. So we're going to pull out what looks like the handlebars here. And I think that's going to be the easiest to get out first. Actually, it's kind of, they definitely got it in here good. It's not, it's hard to move some of it out, which is good because it's not going to move around much. But, all right, we're going to pull this piece out first. It looks like this is going to be maybe part of one of the fenders. Or it is in here pretty good. So we're going to get, it looks like, the wheel. We'll get one of the wheels out. This is going to be one of your fenders. You'll have to air the tires up, obviously. They're not going to send them full of air. Here we go. This is going to be the handlebars. So get the handlebars out. This right here is probably going to be the basket. Just got to get it all out from underneath there. Yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be the basket. And then, so here's one of your other wheels. We're going to put it right there. Then here is one more wheel. Again, this is a 3-wheel. This is going to be your chain guard. It looks like the frame is pretty well all together. So we're going to pull the frame out next. Then you've got the frame. It's this really pretty blue color. I don't know if you guys can see it. You'll see it once we start putting it together, but it's kind of like a metallic blue. Of course, there's your chain cog. And this looks like the seat. It looks like it's got plenty of room for my big old butt, so that's cool. That's a big basket. I'm just here to tell you guys, that's awesome. Then we've got, well, it looks like I got my work cut out for me today. These are going to be all your parts and pieces. The box is labeled A. And then this is probably going to be the back half of the bike. So yeah, this part of the frame and I guess basically your back axle, well, it's basically going to go right back here. There are some loose pieces in the box here. So I have, in this particular box, not sure if it fell off of something or out of something, but surely we can figure it out. It does come with the instructions. So these are obviously going to be pretty important when you're putting it together. This is the, I don't know if I'm saying it right, the YITAHOME. And it looks like they have different numbers, probably maybe for different types of models or whatever, but kind of gives you an idea of the assembly instructions. The Adult Tricycle, and then tools, screws, and fittings. So it's going to kind of show you the stuff you'll need. Multifunction screwdriver, multifunction wrench, adjustable wrench, a simple sleeve wrench, and what looks like a pair of needle nose pliers. And it's just going to show you your different screw fittings. Looks like there's a spring here. Here's kind of the different parts laid out And then that's going to give you, that's pretty cool. They broke it down into times. So it's saying the total time's 120 minutes. Installation of the rear wheel should take you 7 minutes. So that's really neat that they've kind of broke down your time frame here. Connecting the rear axle to the frame, 10 minutes. Of course, you know, it's your first time putting it together. Some of those times could be extended. And they even put little faces beside it. I guess for the longer it takes you to do it, the sadder you are, because there's a sad face and a smiley face, a happy face. So I would imagine they probably should have changed that to like a really big wide open smile because you're done at the end. But so it's kind of neat. You know, usually directions aren't all that great, but I kind of like how they got the zoomed in pictures here, left and right. You're still gonna have all these, which we'll show you as we're putting it together. We'll try to point out all the parts on the page and the tools that are required to do it. But kind of looks like it's going to be pretty well step by step. Probably will take you over an hour if you're really good at putting bikes together or do it quite often. You can probably do it pretty quick. We're going to try to do it in the time frame. Of course, we'll fast forward through all the slow parts that it takes me to fumble around and find a tool that I've probably setting on. So it looks like that is definitely going to be your basket, installation of the basket. So you had a pretty good sized basket on this thing. So, you know, if you're looking for a bike, you know, to get your exercise on and go to the store, I mean, you can literally, this basket is pretty good, it looks like. So we'll see when it gets done. But if you're going to get a few groceries, it looks like that's not going to be a problem. Put your dog, your cat, whatever, in the basket on it. Basket looks like it goes in the rear, so you can, that's even easier because it'll be behind you, and you do have a little basket in the front. So yeah, that's kind of the book. It just kind of breaks down how to put it together and all that good stuff. This is the YITAHOME Adult Tricycle. So once we get all of it unwrapped, I don't believe we'll show you how to take all of the bubble wrap and stuff off. That's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to kind of take all of this off. Looks like they got tape around it. So we're going to get all the bubble wrap and everything off, all the pieces and parts, and then once we get them ready to put together, we will show you guys exactly how to put it together from the very beginning to the very end. Again, I am Keith with Causey in the Country, and we'll be doing more videos in the future. So just if you like us, just click that like and subscribe, and we will try to put out more videos and more content and go from there. Alright guys, so today is the day that we are going to put this trike together, and we're getting all of they packaged it pretty good as far as not scratching or denting the frame. So probably the best way is just get you a knife and just be careful. They actually didn't do too bad. That's not like it's real on there real bad, but just cut your tape and then you can pull all your pieces off. So you just have to work your way around all the parts that are covered like this and get it off. But as soon as we get it all off, we're going to lay it out and then we're going to start putting it together. We've got most of the parts of the bike unwrapped, so we're opening up the parts box. And it's kind of nifty. They do send you a air pump in case you don't have one. I know most people do. But they do send you an air pump to be able to finish putting air in your tires. So I'll set that aside. We're just going to kind of go through the parts here. Hey, looky there. They send you an awesome crescent wrench. How cool is that? And I thought I was going to have to go get my tools. Let's see what else tools they send. I probably will still have to, obviously, but they send a crescent wrench. So kind of surprised there. Look at this. They sent in all the tools that it actually mentioned on the front of the book. So that's actually very, very, very nifty, because that probably means I won't have to grab any tools. So they got all the right sockets. So you'll be able to use this for other stuff too. I always keep all the extra tools, even the little pump, because you can always use it. These are going to be the pedals to the bike. So we're just going to set them here. This, not 100% sure. Oh, it's a lock. That's what I was thinking it was. They even send you a lock so you can lock your bike up. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because there is 2 keys with it. So You can put that there. That's what my first impression was opening it. Then you're going to have some sort of like braces or something to do. It's going to go in the back. Then you're going to have probably something to do maybe with the seat. Then you're going to have, I know that's the other piece when I unwrap the back. These came off, and these are brackets for probably your reflectors and your lights. And I think that's a horn. I know it's a horn. Or a bell. And then, not sure. Not sure. Oh, yes, probably one of the brake levers, maybe. Push open. Don't know, but as we put this together, we'll see. Here's the chain. This is the, and then here's the multi-function wrench that it mentions in the front of the book as well too. So you get your multi-function wrench, you got a crescent wrench, and then you've got this little socket dude here. It's a three-way socket, different sizes on it. Looks like a bag of springs and bolts and nuts. And then this is going to obviously be maybe part of the handlebar system or part of whatever, but when we get it on, you will see. Looks like we got some sort of American flag sticker. Got a couple of those. Kind of matches the color of the back, I guess. It's pretty cool. So then you're gonna have they're also gonna have your Allen wrenches, which is, and it looks like it's got a screwdriver on. That's actually nifty. It's kind of a multi-function, but it has screwdriver tips. So obviously, at least you can keep this stuff, to go with it, which I always think is cool. Even if they're not the greatest tools, they're nice to have extra. It looks like that is, you want to do it for the box, short of one more sticker. Box is empty, so we'll throw that away. And we will get to putting the back together. This is the 26-inch model, so it's the 26-inch tires. So the first part in it, it just kind of goes over what you need, what you're going to use. So we're going to have the rear axle, we're going to have the two rear tires, the rear axle plugs, and then you're going to have your crescent wrench. So what we're going to do is we're going to differentiate between which is the left and right tire by the actual shape that is going to be here. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop these off. This is probably the front tire, would maybe be my guess. Yes, so that's going to be the front wheel. This is going to be one of the rear wheels. So this one has just the round circle. So this wheel, the one with just the round circle, is going to be your left rear wheel. So we're going to slide the front one up out of the way. We're going to put the left rear wheel here. This one's going to be your right because it kind of has this U shape to it. So this is going to be your right wheel. So we're just going to put it right there. And then we're going to grab our rear axle here. And so anyway, you're going to figure out which side is right and left. But they do put these nifty little stickers here that says R for right and L for left. But you're basically also going to, your wheel says it too. So you could tell obviously by the shape too. So there's multiple ways you could tell. But if the stickers were to come off, they do give you another way to be able to tell which is right and left. But this one is the right tire. And then this one here is the left tire, has a yellow sticker on it. So basically this one's going on this side, this one's going on this side. So first, assemble the right wheel. Insert the bolt of the right axle into the screw hole of the right wheel. We are going to take our right wheel. It says to do the right one first. So you're going to basically take this and you're going to line it up with this guy right here. And we're going to take the right wheel and we're going to turn it just like that, and your washer is probably going to go right here on the outside. Then the next step is put the gasket first, then the nut, and finally tighten with a wrench. This is what they're calling the gasket. It's basically just a flat washer. So you're going to, it already comes on here, so before you put this wheel on, it's actually just resting, and it's on here like this. It's on there like that. So when you unscrew these, you're just going to go ahead and take this off, set it right where you know you're going to have it. Then you're going to take your wheel and you're going to put it on there. Now you're going to line, you're going to turn this, you'll watch it's not seated all the way. You'll turn this till it lines up and the wheel just drop down. So you're going to line that up, then you're going to take your washer, you're going to put it back on there. So guys, you're going to use the nut that's inside the cap. So I'm going to attempt to, I tried the other one, but I didn't have too much luck. I don't want to cross thread this, so I think if I can, there, pop it off. The other one's a little bit harder to get off. I'm probably going to have to get a screwdriver to pry this off because I tried to just pull it with my hand and I couldn't. So you're going to put your, just want to make sure we don't have it cross-threaded. We don't. It's going to have it's a kind of like a lock nut. So we're going to take, we got our washer on, then we got our nut. We're going to tighten this. Let me turn this where you guys can see it. So now that we have the wheel, the right wheel on, and we have the washer, we're going to tighten the nut. So you're going to want to make sure they do have, these are lock nuts, so they're made to where they won't back off. So you're going to get this pretty tight, but you don't want to over tighten it. That's about it. Just get it real snug and you should be good. And we're going to pop this cap back on. You're just going to line it up. And so we pop that one back on. Now on the left wheel, we're going to turn it around here. Can you put your spacer on first? These are virtually the same on both sides. So you're going to put your wheel on like so. Then you're going to grab your washer. Then you're going to grab your lock nut. I'm going to put that on. Now that I don't have to set and hold the thing so much. So once you get that on there, we're going to tighten this one down as well too. There we go. So once you get that on, then you can take your plastic cap. We're going to pop it back on. So once you get it lined up, just kind of pop it on like that. And then you have your back axle on there. It rose pretty nice, pretty smooth. So we're going to go to page 2. So we're on page 2 now. You're going to need your installed parts. So you're going to need your rear axle. You're going to need your frame. You're going to need your multifunction wrench. And you're going to need your crescent wrench. We're going to connect the rear axle and the frame, and we're going to grab the rear axle. When you connect your frame to your rear axle, make sure this piece is facing up because your basket's going to connect here, I'm pretty sure. And make sure your cog lines up in line with the cog of your frame. So you're going to take your frame and you're going to turn it this way. And your cog should line up for your chain. So but make sure both your front cog and your back cog is in line with each other because your chain's going to go on there. So we've already pre-loosened these. We'll loosen this after removing these bars. You're going to have a bar that is here. I think it was mainly for transport, but it just slides in there in this groove. You're going to take that out. You got a bar here. You're going to slide that out. And it's to keep these from getting damaged and pushed in or something and shipping so they don't get bent. You're going to loosen these. And you're going to loosen these. Now you're going to have washers here. They need to stay up against the metal. So when you're sliding this in your groove, you want the washers up against the frame of the bike. So now you're going to line your grooves up. This whole frame is going to slide these little notches. This one's going to slide in here. And then there's notches on the back side that these bolts slide into. So I'm starting in the back. I've got this one tight. So make sure you just get them tight, because it's what's going to hold your frame together to the rest of the bike. So just make sure you get it good and hand tight. There we go. That's it. All right. So now that you got all of those on there tight, again, make sure that your front cog lines up with your back cog, and then this part is facing up, because this is where your basket's going to go. Guys, so the next thing we're going to do is put your chain on. That's going to go through the frame like this, and we're just going to slap it over the back one first. So you're going to get it on your cog there, and make sure it's lined up. Get it under that. There we go. Now then pull it tight. Alright, you can set it down. Alright, so wrap the chain around the back cog, and then of course you can make sure this is turned right, so that you can get your chain on. So now then the next step is going to be to put this together. So you're going to put you're going to grab this piece right here, and we're going to stick it through one side. If you've never put a chain on, you're going to have these two pieces here that hang off one end, and you've got this piece. So you're going to put that in there like so, and then you're going to pull it tight so that you can connect this one there like so. So then you've got that, and then you're going to take this piece and you're going to put it right on there like that. Then you're going to have your it's kind of like a Carter pin, not a Carter pin, but it's a pin that kind of holds it on there. So it's going to slide on there, or when you get all the pieces on like we showed you, is you're going to grab behind this piece here and then onto this nipple that sticks out right here, and you're going to do your best to not lose it or drop it, and you're going to needle nose. Probably be a little bit better, but I'm going to attempt to do it with these. You're going to squeeze it together just like that, and so it's going to pop on there and hold it so it won't come off. But you'll need a pair of pliers, and like I said, you just slide that through the first one up to the second one. When you get it there, you're just going to grab hold to the front nipple and the back of that and squeeze, and it'll put it on there. And then we're going to put the chain guard on. You're going to need your Allen wrench. We're just going to go ahead and undo all the screws here, just to make it a little easier. We took the screws out. You got one down here on the bottom, you got one on the top. We pull those out, and you're going to have one back here in the back. This is for the chain guard. You're going to take and you're going to run the bicycle pedal part through the hole of that. We're going to go ahead and get a screw started back here in the back. This is adjustable too, I guess, to a certain extent. It's got the slit in the back, but you're only going to be able to move it so much just to line it up with the others. You're going to line all your little holes up. You got a hole in the top of the chain guard, so we're just going to get it started with our hand here. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten this one down. Now everything's lined up. And then now that you have this lined up, you'll tighten the back one last, because like I said, the bigger slit in the back of this chain guard is made so that you can adjust it back and forth so that you can get the front two tightened. Okay. Now the chain guard's on. So now we're going to be going to the front fork, the front fender, and we're going to need a multifunction tool. So it's going to go like this. Still got to turn it sideways to get it. Seriously? Let's try it like that. Come on, dummy. Come on, dummy. There we go. Oh, looks like where to go. Well, then. So. Alright, just finger tighten that. We're going to raise it back up. goes in the bottom hole here. So you're gonna put your bolt back in the bottom hole. And I'm gonna use a regular screwdriver. I'd be glad when the front wheel's put on. I was hoping that like the front wheel was gonna be the next one, because you constantly have to hold the front of the back up. So you might be able to skip a step if that's what we're going to next. Then, because it just would probably make it a lot easier. Now this back one, you're probably going to have to put some pressure on it and bend it to get it. It wants to keep pushing forward as I'm trying to put the bolt in, so you just kind of have to hold pressure on it. And then now we're going to tighten everything down. That one's tight. Just snug is all you need. There now. Alright, so now we got our front fender on. And now we get to put the wheel on, which I would have preferred to do first. I think I can just loosen it, obviously. Alright, you can rest it down. So the best way to do this is take your washers and your nuts off. Go ahead and get your front axle on there like so, and you're going to take your washer, and it's going to have a little notch on the end. You're going to put it back on, which is going to go through that top hole right up there. You're going to do the same on the other side. It's going to have the hole in the top. You're going to put it on there, so once you get that on there, then put it back in there. And you're going to take your nut. Don't make it complicated like I tried to. Just take them all the way off instead of trying to just slide it on there without taking it all the way off. It's just kind of ridiculous. Just pull them off. Way easier. Just snug them for now. Snug both sides, and then you can tighten it down. And tighten it pretty tight. I think the plastic tips that go on the front wheel, it's not real specific, but they are called the front axle plug. Is going to be in the box with your lights on it. Pretty sure that those go on there like that. And then we're going to put that one on that side. And they're made to fit tight just to kind of cover it. Page 7, you're going to need your bell, your reflectors, and your multi-function screwdriver or your regular Phillips screwdriver. So you're going to take our bell. This is the right handlebar. You're going to get our bell, put it this way so that your thumb is right by where your brake's going to be and all that good jazz. And you can just slightly reach over and ring your bell at somebody. Just snug enough to where it don't go nowhere. Alright, there we go. And tighten your screw down. So we're going to take this. Put that on like so. We're just going to hand tighten it for now because I may have to take it back off. You're going to grab your next fender and you're going to do the same thing. Basically, I guess maybe one of the old reflectors they have these little slits in it, and they just kind of wedge between the spokes. So if you can see that in the picture. And what we have is, as you can tell, there's no slits in it anywhere. So this thing has notches in it here. You're going to line it up with your spoke. Let's see if yeah, that's about where we want it. So it's going to go like that. Then you're going to take this piece and line this notch up to go through the spoke like so. And you're going to take a flathead and you're going to turn it just like that. And then it's on there. This little notch here goes right over the spoke, and you can tell it has another notch here where when you turn it, it will kind of lock it into place, in other words. So you're going to turn it in the direction of that other little slit that was in there, And that's it. There we go. And now then you have your reflectors on. Next you're going to need these two pieces and some nuts and bolts. Alright, to make it simpler, I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Now then, this thing essentially and then we're going to take our screwdriver and go ahead and tighten these down since we know they're the right way. So you're going to take these screws out, so we're going to put the fenders on now that we got the supports on it. So there's two, you're going to take them out, and then you're going to make sure you get your right fender to the right side. And wow, this is very awkward. I'm going to try to get it like this, because it'll be a whole lot easier to do it this way. Now I want to put the screw head facing inside the spokes because it'll be a whole lot easier to stick my screw through the spokes than trying to get it over here, because the nut goes on one side. Okay. I'll do the same here. Let's see. This one needs to go up. Get back and look at it here. So just going to make sure our back end's even here. It's pretty close. Now we're just going to tighten it down. So we're going to insert this. You just kind of have to line this up. We're going to put it into the handlebar here, like so. And we're going to grab the biggest Allen wrench we got, because that's what it looks like it's going to take. So that's going to go something like that. Let me tighten this to where it stands up right first. There we go. Now then, this part can be adjusted, so if you need to come up a little, come down a little, we're going to do it about right there. Probably pretty snug, but don't overdo it because you don't want to break it. And it's not going nowhere. We're going to put the backrest on. This is adjustable, so at least to a certain extent, you know, it looks like you could move it some. And then this back part, you just line your screw hole up with that right there. I didn't even snug it, I just kind of turned it till I felt like it was good. This bad boy is going to set on this like so, but we're going to flip it over because that's where we're going to line our holes up at. So we get it right there. You're going to take these 4 black bolts, these ones, and then that's going to have this piece put together. So we're going to loosen this up. Alright, I can turn that with my finger now. I'm going to loosen, like I said, this is all the same bar anyway, so this is loose. Now then, they're going to put this in here. It's all the way in there, and we're going to just tighten her down. And then you're going to tighten this one up. This is what keeps it from the bar from sliding down in there any further. On this part, you just keep tightening until it don't move. Or it wasn't getting around the pole, so now I can't pull the seat off. So that's good. Just take the crescent wrench because it's slipping on the pedal, which is fine. I need to tighten it on the other side anyway. There we go. Required parts. Obviously this, which is already there, and then the front part. So detailed installation steps. Connect the front brake cable to the right brake lever. And we're going to make sure we get the right one. This is your front brakes, this is your back brakes. So we're going to take the front one, goes on the right hand side. You guys, so you're going to line these grooves up. This little dude is going to go up there. Squeeze it as hard as you can. You'll have somebody squeeze down here. We'll show you where to squeeze in a minute. But it's going to go, just because it's going to make it way easier on you. It's going to go like that. You're going to push that in there. And we're going to go ahead and turn this so that it won't come out for right now. We're just turning it just a little. Then your brake lever part here has got a groove in it right here. So you got to press the handle. It goes up in there like that. When you press the handle, there's a groove here. It's going to go down in that groove like that. Okay, and then you're going to turn this. You're putting it in here just like this. So now that we've got this in the hole, you're going to put it back in there like that, and you're going to pull back, and then you're going to start. This is how you adjust. This is why this screws. So you're going to screw this up in here, and then you have your front brake. So now show them where you're holding on here. She's squeezing this bottom part. You can move your hand. She's squeezing this, basically pressing the brake to loosen that cord. So what's going to happen, and we'll adjust it, but now then, if I press this cable, these should move. So it's working just fine, but you can adjust how much you want your brake to grab your tire or how much you don't want it to. And that's actually feels really good right there. It's going to kind of try to explain it to you, but when you look at the picture, it's really not going to show you anything. So you're better just kind of, hopefully you can see it clear enough in the video of how we did it. But that's how that's going to go. So that's got your front brake. Your back brake is going to be the same exact thing, so we'll see if we can do it a little bit better. This is exactly the way the other side was. You're going to unscrew this part. Okay, this is your adjuster. This is your brake adjuster. This will be your back brake adjuster. We're going to grab the back brake cable, and luckily this one's way easier. She's not going to have to hold it or nothing. Now you don't want to pull it out too much. We're going to pull it out about like that. So what's going to happen is you're going to line your grooves up. There's a groove in the nut, there's a groove in this. This is plastic, and what you're going to do is you're going to line it up just like that, and then once you get that in there, we're going to turn this so it doesn't pop out. We're going to raise this back up. I'm going to pull it out just so you can see it. So when I pull this out, this piece is in here, okay? This is part of the swivel of the brake that pulls the brake cable. So you're going to press your brake cable and you pull this out. If you'll notice this little slit here, you're going to take, I need to get back out, this one's kind of greasy. So you're going to take this and you're going to put it right down in there like that, okay? Then in the slit, this is just going to turn like this, okay? And there's a slit in the top right here. You're going to run it down. You're going to let that go back up in there just like that. Then you're going to screw this part in. Well, this is the part that adjusts it. You move this nut, then you can screw the other one in. Once it gets tight, it won't go no more. So if you need to adjust your brakes, you turn this nut a little more, screw it in some more. I'm not sure where we need to be at with it. So now then, when I move this, it's gonna work the back brake. So the one thing you want to do though, guys, is go ahead and do this. I mean, the brakes work fine, but you got to adjust this in line with the wheel. So we're gonna loosen this, and then this guy's gonna turn like that. and it's going to touch the metal part. You're not going to touch the tire. So we'll go ahead and do that to where your rubber pads are in line. And I wonder, actually let me turn it because I think it's flipped all the way around. We're going to flip it like this because it should. There we go. That's a little better. So this goes up and down just like that when you loosen this. Make sure that the curvature matches the curvature of the wheel, but this pad will go up and down, and you're going to get it right on the metal rim. So about right there. And then you're going to tighten this back down. You loosen it to adjust that. And just do it nice and slow because you'll end up moving it. I was going to just wait and do it later, but we'll just go ahead and do it now since we're here anyway. There we go. That's better. Yeah. That's good right there. We are going to run, your next step is we're going to run this cable through. They're going to say this is green, but they're just putting it in green, into the green screw hole. Insert the brake cable into the green screw hole. It's not green. Nothing that they've said has been green. I think they're just doing it to highlight what they're talking about. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this, and it's going to run right through the hole like so. And it's going to come back to there. So we got that on there. Once we've ran that in, we're going to put this spring on here. Should be a hole. It's got to be here. Your hole is going to be right here in this hole, but it may already be tightened. So this is what you're looking for. You'll just have to loosen this nut. But what you're going to do is this end of this wire, the cable, is going to go right in there like that. And then you're just going to tighten down that nut, I'm pretty sure is all it's going to take. That's more like it. That's what I want. As I'm just using these pliers to hold this from putting so much pressure on the brake lever itself. Try to get it on tight as I can. Now it's not coming out for sure. Press on the brake now. There we go. Alright guys, so what we're going to do, I'm going to get my wife to press on the brake while I'm just kind of rocking this. Okay. So it's not adjusted enough, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. You can let go of the brake. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten this screw down. But we're going to have to loosen the nut here on the bottom first. I'm going to turn it by hand. I'm going to turn it up to about right there. And then we're going to tighten this screw down till the nut touches. So about right there, just snug. She's going to press on the brake again. Alright, let off of it. Alright, I'm going to rock it and press on it. Press on it hard. Is that it?
Yes.
Alright, let off of it. So we're going to adjust this again. So that's got that. Well, we got the back brake on. I'm going to try to adjust it from up here as well, which we still need to finish tightening this. Front brake works really good. At the back one, there it goes. Press on her. Let me adjust it a little bit more. You can adjust this set screw here, up or down. It'll tighten on that. It's kind of like a brake pad, brake rotor, whatever. You can use that to adjust the back brake, and then you can also use your lever to adjust the back brake. So you just get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as if the tire catches, you're good. Because you're going to use your front one to slow down. Your front one obviously is going to work real good. So we're going to tighten these down with this one right here. And we're going to do this one the same way now that we have all the brakes adjusted. Everything's in place. Make sure you press it all the way up against the handle before you tighten it. And then just snug. That should be good. We're going to take, get the right size here. Pretty well loose, lefty loosey and righty tighty. Alright guys, so we're getting ready to put the basket on. So you're going to make sure that this part faces toward the back part of the seat, because this is where your lid's going to go, and it hinges here so that you can open it up like this. So we're putting the basket as far forward as we can here, or as far toward the back of the bike as we can, so that the lid will open easy. Once we get them started, I've got my nifty drill here to make this quicker. It kind of shows them adjusting the bar the other way, but I think if you do it, it probably doesn't really matter. They ran the bar long ways of this, but you're going to have just the same amount of sturdiness because you're covering actually a bare distance of this, so it makes it pretty sturdy. So that's why we opted to go this way. They don't have any instructions for your lid to your basket, but we're going to use zip ties. So just going to run it through. You're going to line your basket up. We're going to put it just like so. And it's going to have just enough to where we can pull this tight to latch it. So we're going to zip tie it here. And then now your basket will actually snap shut. So there's not going to be any instructions necessarily really to put this butt piece on. This is the part your front basket goes to. It doesn't really, it's pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't really give you instructions on which way it goes, but we put it on just like this. I don't want to take it all the way off. If you'll look back here, this nut is it just fits up in there. It will fall out if you unscrew this all the way. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew it just to show you, but it'll come out. That stays in there. You're going to put your piece on facing this way. Now we've got it started, but you're going to start both screws just like that, and it's going to essentially, when you tighten it down, you want it to be facing just like this right here. So just snug enough on both sides, just till basically it becomes hard to turn. So right in there, it's plenty good. So now that you have that piece on, you're going to take your basket, and it has this nifty little black piece on it. So it's going to go, you're just going to fit it right over the top like this, and it's going to lock into place so the basket can now not come off. When you take this off, guys, make sure your hands are on it. I thought it was just going to kind of fold down. This basket's actually under tension. It kind of popped me in the finger. It didn't hurt, but it's going to open up really fast. So what you're going to do is just let it go, and it's going to open up just like that. If you happen to have something in your basket that you want to take out and it's full and you don't want to pull it all out individually, if it's like loose pieces laying around in there that's big enough not to fall through, in order to pull your basket off, you're going to press your red button, and you're just going to pull it up just like that.